What started as whispers inside GM headquarters has now exploded into the open. Chevy is slashing prices across some of its most important vehicles, from the Silverado to the Equinox to key electric models, with cuts ranging from a jaw-dropping 15% all the way up to 25%. Ford, Toyota, and Ram were completely blindsided. Dealers say they woke up to customer messages asking why Chevy trucks suddenly cost thousands less overnight. And here's the wild part. This wasn't a strategic move made from a position of strength. This was desperation. Chevy is drowning in unsold inventory, especially full-size pickups and EVs, and this massive price slash is their attempt to unclog dealer lots before the situation spirals into a full-blown crisis. But that's just the first shock. Behind the scenes, Chevy has quietly been canceling multiple models, some confirmed, some heavily rumored, and it's sending the entire industry into panic mode. The Camaro's future has been bouncing between paused, dead, and reborn. The Malibu has been on life support for years. The Bolt EV was officially discontinued, yet now mystery reports suggest GM killed it only to bring back a completely redesigned version. Dealers are baffled, customers are confused, and nobody seems to know what GM is doing next. What we do know is that Chevy is reshuffling its entire lineup, and it's causing chaos everywhere. Then comes the EV shocker. Chevy's EV strategy, one GM claimed was set in stone, has suddenly flipped upside down. A new Ultium battery breakthrough is quietly being tested, promising lower cost, longer range, and faster charging. Chevy insiders say this could make a sub $25,000 EV not just possible, but imminent. Tesla, Hyundai, and Kia are already scrambling because if GM can mass produce a cheap EV with Ultium tech, it will disrupt the entire affordable EV segment instantly. Analysts say this could be the biggest shift in GM's EV roadmap since the original Bolt. Meanwhile, the Silverado, once the backbone of Chevy's entire empire, is facing a crisis that nobody expected. Sales have slowed dramatically, and dealers across the US are sitting on massive piles of unsold trucks. Some lots have more than a 120-day supply. That's unheard of. Chevy's response has been pure panic mode, record incentives, surprise redesign pushes, and a sudden pivot to fleet deals just to keep trucks moving out the door. The CEO reportedly held an emergency meeting instructing teams to prepare dramatic measures to prevent Silverado sales from collapsing any further. And if that wasn't enough, Chevy has basically declared war on Ford and Ram. In the last month alone, Chevy has quietly rolled out aggressive pricing updates, surprise tech packages, and brand new trim levels designed specifically to steal back market share. Ford insiders were reportedly caught off guard by some of the equipment Chevy is now including at no extra cost. Ram dealers say customers are walking in demanding similar deals, and Ram can't match them without losing money. But then came the moment nobody saw coming. GM's CEO revealed a stunning new strategy that shocked both buyers and industry analysts. After years of pushing hard into EVs, GM is now pivoting back toward hybrids. Yes, hybrids, the same technology they previously dismissed. GM reportedly has a 1.5L turbo hybrid Silverado in development, alongside new plug-in versions of several SUVs. This is a massive shift, effectively admitting that their all-in EV plan wasn't working. And then Chevy pulled the ultimate plot twist. They killed the Bolt EV, only to replace it with a version so advanced, so cheap, and so efficient that analysts are calling it the biggest EV disruption in years. The all-new Bolt 2.0 is rumored to use an LFP battery for extreme durability, offer long range, and cost far less than any EV in its class. This move alone could change the entire market. But while customers are excited, Chevy dealers are furious. A leaked internal memo revealed huge behind-the-scenes changes, including sudden wholesale pricing updates and forced EV allocations that many dealers don't want. Some dealers say Chevy is dumping EVs on us that we can't sell. This memo has triggered a full-scale revolt, with several dealer networks preparing formal complaints. Then Chevy dropped another truth bomb, exposing what they claim is the biggest lie in the car industry. According to internal documents, battery costs and truck manufacturing costs have been wildly inflated for years. Chevy believes the industry has been using inflated pricing to justify massive markups. And now that inventory is is piling up everywhere. Those inflated numbers are collapsing fast, forcing brands to slash prices before the bubble explodes. As all this chaos unfolds, Chevy has quietly done something nobody expected. They unveiled a brand new vehicle in complete secrecy. Early leaks hint at a mystery electric SUV, and some rumors point to a compact truck, possibly the Chevrolet Montana or a revived S10 coming to the US market. These leaked images have already triggered a wave of shock inside the pickup community. At the same time, Chevy's sales are crashing across multiple segments, pushing them to unleash massive incentives, 0% APR offers, record rebates, and even loyalty bonuses just to keep traffic flowing into dealerships. Inventory has reached levels that automakers dread, meaning something big had to give. But then came the moment nobody saw coming. GM's CEO revealed a stunning new strategy that shocked both buyers and industry analysts. After years of pushing hard into EVs, GM is now pivoting back toward hybrids. Yes, hybrids, the same technology they previously dismissed. GM reportedly has a 1.5L turbo hybrid Silverado in development, alongside new plug-in versions of several SUVs. This is a massive shift, effectively admitting that their all-in EV plan wasn't working. And then Chevy pulled the ultimate plot twist. They killed the Bolt EV, only to replace it with a version so advanced, so cheap, and so efficient that analysts are calling it the biggest EV disruption in years. The all-new Bolt 2.0 is rumored to use an LFP battery for extreme durability, offer long range, and cost far less than any EV in its class. This move alone could change the entire market. But while customers are excited, Chevy dealers are furious. A leaked internal memo revealed huge behind-the-scenes changes, including sudden wholesale pricing updates and forced EV allocations that many dealers don't want. Some dealers say Chevy is dumping EVs on us that we can't sell. This memo has triggered a full-scale revolt, with several dealer networks preparing formal complaints. Then Chevy dropped another truth bomb, exposing what they claim is the biggest lie in the car industry. According to internal documents, battery costs and truck manufacturing costs have been wildly inflated for years. Chevy believes the industry has been using inflated pricing to justify massive markups. And now that inventory is piling up everywhere. Those inflated numbers are collapsing fast, forcing brands to slash prices before the bubble explodes. As all this chaos unfolds, Chevy has quietly done something nobody expected. They unveiled a brand new vehicle in complete secrecy. Early leaks hint at a mystery electric SUV, and some rumors point to a compact truck, possibly the Chevrolet Montana or a revived S10 coming to the US market. These leaked images have already triggered a wave of shock inside the pickup community. At the same time, Chevy's sales are crashing across multiple segments, pushing them to unleash massive incentives, 0% APR offers, record rebates, and even loyalty bonuses just to keep traffic flowing into dealerships. Inventory has reached levels that automakers dread, meaning something big had to give. And just as the dust began to settle, Chevy hit the industry with a major recall affecting millions of drivers. Whether it's airbags, battery modules, or critical software glitches, this recall forced Chevy to respond fast, and the ripple effects hit the entire auto industry like an earthquake. Chevy then followed up with another technical shock, announcing next-generation Ultium battery technology that could double range while improving safety and charging speeds. This blindsided Tesla, Hyundai, and every EV manufacturer that thought they had a lead. If Chevy truly cracked the code on cheaper, higher density batteries, the entire EV hierarchy is about to rearrange itself. To top it all off, Chevy quietly accelerated its phase out of gas engines, pushing toward a hybrid-only and EV future much faster than analysts predicted. This means trucks and SUVs could undergo the biggest transformation in Chevy's history. And then the final twist, Chevy is reportedly all in on developing a new $20,000 pickup truck aimed directly at the Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz. Early demand predictions are explosive, with analysts saying this could become the next major hit in the budget truck category. And this is where things get even more shocking, because Chevy's aggressive turnaround strategy is now moving at full speed, and the next phase is already shaking the industry to its core. Inside sources claim GM has activated what they're calling a market reset plan, something designed to completely reshape how customers shop for Chevy vehicles. The company is preparing to roll out nationwide price transparency initiatives, subscription-free tech features, and factory direct ordering options that cut out dealer markups entirely. This has Ford and Stellantis executives in a quiet panic. If Chevy can pull this off, it would destroy the old dealership advantage, shift power back to buyers, and force every competitor to rethink how they sell cars in the US. But at the same time, there's another storm brewing. Manufacturers are watching Chevy's financial situation closely, and analysts say GM is now walking a tightrope. While price cuts attract buyers, they also slash profit margins. Combine that with high inventory and massive investments in EV factories, and you get a brand stretched to its financial limit. Investors are worried, dealers are worried, even some GM engineers are leaking concerns that the company might be overcorrecting to fix its sales slump. Still, Chevy refuses to slow down. Instead, they're doubling down and making moves that feel more like a reboot of the entire brand rather than a simple strategy shift. And here's where things take another wild turn. Chevy is preparing to unleash a wave of new hybrid and plug-in hybrid systems across their lineup faster than any legacy automaker. After watching Toyota dominate hybrids for 2 decades, GM now believes it can leapfrog the market with more powerful, more efficient systems based on its next-gen 1.5L turbo platform. Early insiders claim the hybrid Silverado could outperform Ford's Power Boost while offering better fuel economy. If true, Ford's F-150 dominance is officially under threat. Meanwhile, GM is planning hybrid versions of the Equinox, Traverse, and even the Tahoe, shocking SUV buyers who never expected this sudden pivot. But while Chevy is busy reinventing its future, they're also cleaning house. Dealerships have reported early hints that Chevy may discontinue even more slow-selling models, focusing instead on high-volume global platforms. The Trax, which shockingly became one of the fastest-selling vehicles in America, is now serving as the blueprint for Chevy's future. Affordable, stylish, fuel-efficient, and way cheaper than anything Ford or Toyota can build at scale. This success convinced GM that the next wave of 2026 and 2027 models needs to prioritize affordability and mass appeal, not luxury features or overly expensive EV tech that customers are getting tired of. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Chevy engineers are reportedly testing what could become the brand's most important battery ever, the Ultium Gen 2 Cost Cutter. This battery is designed to slash production costs so aggressively that GM could offer long-range EVs under $30,000 consistently. Industry insiders are calling it the battery Tesla should have built years ago. Combine that with Chevy's return to LFP chemistry for the Bolt 2.0, and suddenly Chevy looks like the company that cracked the EV cost crisis. If they succeed, every automaker chasing affordable EVs will be forced to follow their lead or risk losing entire segments of the market. But while the engineers are working on the future, the marketing department is preparing for war. Chevy is gearing up to unleash the most aggressive nationwide ad campaign they've deployed in over a decade. It's designed to promote their new pricing, highlight their hybrid comeback, and embarrass Ford and Ram by showcasing real-world comparisons. Leaked scripts include lines like, "Why pay $10,000 more for the same capability?" and "Chevy gives you value." Others give you excuses. If Chevy runs these ads during NFL season or primetime news, expect the truck wars to explode like never before. And then comes perhaps the biggest internal conflict Chevy is facing, the dealer rebellion. Dealers hate the forced EV allocations. They hate the shrinking margins. They hate the direct order experiments Chevy is quietly testing. Some dealers are even threatening to drop EVs entirely unless GM rewrites its rules. Others say they were blindsided by Chevy's price cuts, which instantly devalued their existing inventory. This growing tension could turn into a full-scale fight between GM and its dealer network, one that might reshape how Chevy vehicles are sold permanently. But Chevy doesn't seem worried because they believe they have a secret weapon, a brand new compact pickup that insiders say is already testing on US roads disguised under the body of a Trax or Trailblazer. This truck is rumored to be cheaper than the Maverick, more practical than the Santa Cruz, and built for everyday buyers who want utility without spending $40,000. If this mystery truck launches at $20,000 to $23,000, Chevy could dominate an entirely new category overnight. Analysts say it could become the next Ford Ranger moment, a vehicle that defines a generation. And as all of this unfolds, GM's leadership is preparing for one more twist, something they're planning to announce in the coming months. A structural overhaul so large, insiders say it will change how people think about GM for the next decade. Whether it's factory consolidation, new global platforms, a massive tech partnership, or even a split between ICE and EV divisions, something big is brewing. And this leads us into the next massive revelation because Chevy is now positioning itself for a move so bold, so unprecedented, that industry analysts are calling it the most aggressive pivot GM has attempted in 25 years. Internally, GM executives are referring to this next phase as Project Breakpoint. According to multiple insiders, this initiative aims to completely rewrite Chevy's identity from a traditional American automaker into a tech-driven, fast-moving industry disruptor. This isn't just about new cars or cheaper prices. This is about changing how vehicles are designed, built, priced, powered, and delivered. And if even half of what's rumored becomes official, the American car market will never look the same again. The centerpiece of Project Breakpoint is a full-scale overhaul of Chevy's manufacturing process. Instead of long, rigid production cycles, Chevy wants Tesla-style flexible assembly, where vehicles can be updated, modified, or even redesigned mid-cycle without shutting down factories for months. This means Silverado mid-year updates. This means EV software tweaks rolled out weekly. This means new trims being added on the fly. Ford and Ram are reportedly terrified because this level of adaptability turns Chevy into a moving target, constantly improving, constantly adjusting pricing, and constantly outmaneuvering competitors who still operate on decade-old production strategies. But that's just the beginning. Chevy is also preparing to roll out a new direct-to-factory upgrade system where buyers can add or remove features after purchasing the car without subscriptions. Instead of locking features behind paywalls like BMW or overcharging like Tesla, Chevy wants to offer optional upgrades at cost. Want heated seats later? Add them. Need towing capability? Buy the software unlock once. No monthly fees. This alone could flip customer loyalty in Chevy's favor instantly. Meanwhile, the EV division is racing ahead with two major developments that could stun the market. First, Chevy is working with battery suppliers on a new cobalt-free chemistry that could drop battery prices by nearly 40% within 2 years. If this breakthrough becomes reality, GM could be in a position to permanently undercut Tesla on pricing. Second, insiders claim Chevy is testing a modular skateboard platform that can support everything from compact hatchbacks to full-size SUVs, cutting engineering time in half and dramatically reducing costs. This means more models, faster production, and far fewer supply chain headaches. But here's the part Ford, Toyota, and Ram did not expect. Chevy is reportedly preparing a massive expansion of its hybrid lineup, not just sedans and crossovers, but trucks. The hybrid Silverado is only the beginning. GM is working on hybrid versions of the Colorado, Tahoe, Suburban, and even the Blazer. Engineers believe these hybrids will match or outperform Toyota's legendary hybrid systems, but with more horsepower and torque. If Chevy pulls this off, Toyota's decade-long hybrid domination could end almost overnight. At the same time, Chevy is planning to streamline half its ICE engines, phasing out older powertrains sooner than anyone expected. The goal is to reduce manufacturing complexity and slash costs while shifting investment toward hybrids and cheaper EVs. This has suppliers scrambling to renegotiate contracts because Chevy's abrupt pivot caught many of them completely off guard. And then comes the wild card, something so shocking it has the entire industry watching closely. Rumors suggest Chevy is in talks with two major Asian automakers about a joint battery or platform partnership. If this deal happens, it could give Chevy access to ultra-low-cost manufacturing, allowing them to produce EVs at price points no American automaker can match. Competitors fear this could be the beginning of a global-scale power shift in the industry. The pressure is already showing. Ford dealers are begging for deeper Maverick inventory. Ram is rushing to develop cheaper versions of the 1500. Toyota is accelerating its hybrid Tundra plans. Everyone is trying desperately to respond to Chevy's sudden aggression. Meanwhile, Chevy dealers are bracing for another internal shakeup. Leaked documents suggest GM may introduce a new factory priority allocation system, where high-performing dealers get early access to inventory, especially EVs and hybrid trucks. Low-performing dealers risk losing allocations entirely. This is causing massive tension in the dealer network, with some claiming GM is trying to force them into a performance-based model similar to Tesla's territory-free structure. And just when everyone thought Chevy couldn't possibly pile on more SHOCKS, insiders reveal that GM is preparing to showcase the prototype of a brand new low-cost SUV and compact pickup at a secret investor event. If these prototypes look even close to production ready, Chevy could strengthen its grip on both the budget SUV and budget truck segments, areas where Ford and Toyota currently have no answer. All of this is building toward one explosive moment, an announcement Chevy plans to make soon that insiders say will rewrite the rules of the American auto market. Whether it's a pricing revolution, a new powertrain direction, or the official launch of the $20,000 pickup, nobody knows exactly what's coming next. But one thing is clear, Chevy is no longer playing defense. They're going on the attack, and that sets the stage for the next massive twist because the next twist Chevy is preparing might be the most explosive one yet. A full-scale restructuring of its entire brand hierarchy that could remove several iconic nameplates, introduce completely new segments, and permanently shift Chevy's identity for the next decade. Internal documents leaked to multiple outlets describe this as a brand realignment strategy, and if accurate, it marks the boldest reinvention Chevy has attempted since the early 2000s. According to these leaks, Chevy is planning to divide its lineup into 3 clear categories: value, performance, and next-gen electric. The value lineup would include ultra-affordable models like the new Trax, an upcoming sub-25K EV, and the rumored compact pickup. These vehicles will be designed to dominate the entry-level market, crush competitors on price, and rebuild Chevy's mass market appeal. The performance lineup, meanwhile, is expected to include whatever form the Camaro returns in, whether that's hybrid, electric, or something entirely unexpected, along with performance trims of the Silverado, Colorado, and future crossovers. Finally, the next-gen electric lineup will be the heart of Chevy's future identity, featuring Ultium Gen 2 EVs, the Bolt 2.0, and at least 2 new electric SUVs aimed directly at Tesla's most popular models. This restructuring is massive because it means Chevy will finally stop trying to be everything at once. Instead, the company will focus on clear pillars and direct each pillar toward a specific buyer group. Analysts are calling this the smartest move GM has made in years, but it also means several current models could be on the chopping block. Vehicles like the Malibu, Trailblazer, and possibly even the Blazer may not fit neatly into any of the new categories, meaning they may be discontinued or completely redesigned. And while this could streamline Chevy's lineup, it's also sending shockwaves through dealers who have relied on these models for years.